Welcome to Late to the Show. I'm your host, Prophet74, and today we're going to bring RGB Converter, which is a hub pretty much. And what it does, those that don't have a 5-volt or require a 5-volt RGB lighting connection to your motherboard, this might be the thing for you. So it converts your 12 volts into a hub where you could use it to 5 volts or you can use it to 12 volts. I'm going to open it up and see what you get when you purchase something like this. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. All right, so let's open it up, see what you get when you purchase something like this. Basically, it just tells you what it is, and we're gonna do a demo on it, what I'm talking about. My motherboard only has a 4-pin. It does not have a 3-pin. A lot of motherboards, new motherboards, do have the 5-volt 3-pin RGB lighting connection, but mine's unfortunately doesn't. And we do need at least 2 connections, so we're gonna see if we could get that going. And what you get, instructions, how to connect it. They do give you the power source, and you do have to connect one source into the motherboard, the 4-pin motherboard, in order to get this working. So let's go ahead and open it up. And I thought it was gonna be a little bit bigger than what I thought it was, but it's not. It's a lot smaller. Let's go ahead and take it out. Take the box out. Take everything out of the box, and this is it. So let's go, and they give you the connections, and they give you adhesive, so you could actually glue it behind the monitor or behind the system. It could be away from eyes, so it's not that bad. So here in the front, it tells you right here, 5 volts, a ground, 12 volts, 12 volts, and then there's another 5 volts here. So let's go ahead and open it up. Pretty much this is what it is. This is a 12-volt connection, and there is a startup arrow that tells you starting from here, and the rest of it is RGB lighting. So from here, you're gonna connect this to an actual power source, a SATA connection, to get that going. So what you got to do is, first of all, you find the ground connection. It's right here. It's the pins are on the bottom, so you have to connect this first of all, right? Connect this part in here, and sometimes I don't like to push it, but right now it seems like it's not going through. So these are a little sensitive, but this one in particular is a little tough. I won't even go in. There it is. There it is. And that's tough to get out, so try not to. Once it goes in there, it's pretty much permanent. All right, so we got that in there, that connection. Now one of these goes to your motherboard, and this one goes to the SATA. All right, so SATA connection, motherboard, and then you connect any multiple connection here that you require. Either 5 volts, these are the 3 pins only, and these are the 4 pins on here. So you'll see right now when these are 4 pins, so it will look something like this on your motherboard. You connect this, and then on the additional connections that you get, RGB lighting is a connection that you need or you want to require, will connect into the, if it's 4 pins, it'll be 12 volts. If it's 3 pins, it's 5 volts. Just to remember that. You don't want to burn things out, and we're going to put that to the test here, and we're going to set up a couple RGB lighting and connections that I have that I require to be converted. And this is a great item to have. I didn't even know it existed until I started looking into something that I didn't have in my motherboard. And the tower that I have it has a 3 pins, which it's not going to fit anywhere like this. In fact, one of them is blocked, so that's why I was a little hesitant about buying this stuff. But now that I see it's all converted and it's ready to go, we're gonna go set it up and see what you do when you get something like this. If you can see it, it's missing the pin here that's required, and on this side too. And this one has a actual fan connection that you could do that. It's a 5-volt fan connection that you can plug in. 3-pin connection, and these are RGB lighting connection. 12 volts, 4 pins, and of course they give you one here only for the 5 volts for right here. 5 volts connection, RGB lighting. So let's go ahead and set that up, and they give you the ground too if you need to connect ground. So let's go ahead and set it up and see what you get when you purchase them like this, and see if it even works. So let's go ahead and put it to test. All right, so here's a connection I have. I have a random connection here. This is a 5-volt connection for the RGB lighting connection, and we're gonna go ahead and connect that hub. We're also going to connect the fan hub too, so set up on this. So let's go ahead and set up the fan hub. All right, so I have the RGB lighting here, one connection right here, if you guys can see it. Let me zoom in so you guys can see a little bit better. So the connection's right there, the RGB lighting, it's on this side right here. I do have another one way on the top of the motherboard. It's right here. I don't have the 3-pin connection that is required by this RGB lighting connection. So this is a 5 volts, and when we're looking at there, it's 12 volts. So that's where this little bad boy comes in, and we're gonna go ahead and connect it. We're gonna put the adhesive in the back and see if it connects. It actually has a magnet, if you guys can see it. It's magnetic. See, it plugs in automatically in here to any kind of metal that you have. So I like that. It comes with a magnet. It even shows you a little magnet area. Put it anywhere you want. But it doesn't not to this kind of aluminum, only the metal pieces of it. So let's go ahead and set this up first. So first of all, what you want to do is decide where you want to plug in, the top or the bottom. And we decided to do it from the top so we could hide some of the connections and cable. So we're going to plug this sucker in here. We're going to send it through the other side and see if we could get it connected here. And of course, it tells you where to start from in here. And then there's a little picture. 12V, that's the arrow that you're going to start in, right? There it is, 12V right there. And then the rest of it is, and it's the same thing as here. If it tells you the same exact thing, so you can't mess this up. All right, so be careful because you could burn a bunch of stuff if you don't connect it properly. All right, so let's go ahead and commence. All right, so here we are with the 5 volts, and there's only one RGB lighting connection. I just noticed that, and it's on this side. So I was a little hesitant about that. I wish I had 2 more. It does have a ground, it does have a 5 volt, and it does have another 5 volt here, but it's not RGB lighting. If you notice, it's only RGB lighting 1, so a little disappointing. They do give you 2 of RGB lighting 12 volts, but fortunately they only give you 1 on this one. So only 1 connection could be connected here. So let's go ahead and connect that one and make it proper. I might have to probably buy another different one that has 2 RGB 5 volts because I do have 2 of these. So we're gonna sacrifice 1 for now and go ahead and connect this one. All right, so we plugged 1 RGB lighting 5 volts. I thought I had 2, but it only has 1, and we're gonna magnetize it. We're not even gonna do anything to it. We're just gonna leave it there, and it does have an extra connection for actual fan. And then we grab the SATA connection here, we just plug it in, and that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and do that. We're gonna turn it on, crank it up, and we got lighting already in there. So this is supposed to be lighting up with 5 volts already. So let me crank it up, and there's the RGB lighting, if you guys can see it. It's 5 volts. I can't control it. It's not set for a motherboard or anything like that unless I had the actual 3 pins in the motherboard. Unfortunately, this motherboard only has the 12 volt pins, but if you can see it, my Christmas tree is lit up. There's 1 connection here that I have, an extra one, and that one's it, and that's about it. I don't have any more other connections in here, but it looks like everything's turning on like a Christmas tree, like it's supposed to. You can see the front. Water cooling's transferring nice and neat. I got the water running here. I am going to do an extra valve here so I could take it off, but the lighting's working. The hub's working perfect. I didn't have the 5 volt 3-pin connection at all, so got that new replacement. Got an extra RGB 12 volts and also an additional fan connection on that hub. So not bad. Like what I see. Cooling wise, looking great.